Hello and welcome everyone to Royal Booth, your go-to place for all things royal. I'm your host, Jane Roberts. Today we're going to unravel a story that's been twisted and turned by the media, a story about Meghan Sussex's first royal project. You might have come across headlines from the Daily Mail or Richard Eden claiming that Meghan's initiative has shut down or that the stoves have gone cold. But is there any truth to these claims? Or is it a classic case of media misrepresentation? In this video, we're going to dig deeper into the facts, debunk the myths, and bring you the true story of how Meghan's project has empowered a community and changed lives. We'll explore the real purpose of the Hubb Community Kitchen, the impact it has had, and why it was always meant to be a temporary lifeline. So without further ado, let's dive in and uncover the truth behind the media's portrayal of Meghan's first royal project. We've all seen the headlines from outlets like the Daily Mail claiming that Meghan Sussex's first royal project has shut down. These media narratives would have you believe that when Meghan and Prince Harry relocated to the U.S., this initiative just fizzled out. But let me tell you, this isn't just poor journalism. It's a calculated distortion of how grassroots empowerment really operates. Let's discuss the Hubb Community Kitchen, the project in question. This wasn't a commercial venture. It was a lifeline. Born from the tragic ashes of the Grenfell Tower disaster in 2017, this kitchen was a sanctuary for women who were displaced, living in hotels without kitchens. They needed a place not only to cook for their families, but also to heal. When Meghan Sussex visited them in 2018, she wasn't there for a photo session. She saw their potential and utilized her global influence to launch Together, Our Community Cookbook. This project didn't just hit #1 on Amazon almost immediately. It raised over £200,000 in a matter of hours and eventually garnered over £1 million in sales. These funds did more than just buy ingredients. They renovated the Al-Manar Center, allowed the kitchen to be open 7 days a week, and provided food safety qualifications for the women. Yet, Richard Eden at the Daily Mail painted the project stopping as a sign of neglect. He quoted a spokesperson saying, "The kitchen has stopped," conveniently omitting the most crucial context. As People magazine rightly reported, the Hubb was always intended to be a temporary, time-limited response to an emergency. The project wound down because, and this is the part the critics hate to admit, the mission was accomplished. The most inspiring part of this story, the part Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex are undoubtedly proud of, is that the women didn't just revert to their old lives, they evolved. Many have launched their own independent catering ventures, and the initiative paved the way for partnerships with groups like the Felix Project, scaling up food redistribution across London. But is this narrative accurate? Let's take a closer look. The Hubb Community Kitchen was born out of the Grenfell Tower tragedy in 2017, providing a lifeline for displaced women. Emerging from the ashes of a devastating tragedy, the Hubb Community Kitchen was more than a mere culinary space. This initiative was a beacon of hope and resilience for local heroines who had found themselves displaced from their homes and without a kitchen to prepare meals for their families. This kitchen served as a healing space, a sanctuary where they could gather strength and regain a sense of normalcy. In 2018, Meghan Sussex visited the kitchen, but her visit was far from a typical royal engagement. She saw the potential of these women and recognized an opportunity for change. Using her global platform, she launched Together, Our Community Cookbook. Now, this wasn't just any cookbook. It was a celebration of the power of community, of unity, and of food as a universal language of love and care. The cookbook made a splash almost instantly, soaring to #1 on Amazon. Within hours, it had raised over £200,000. And eventually, It cleared over 1 million pounds in sales. But the impact of these figures goes beyond the numbers. The funds raised from the cookbook didn't just fill grocery baskets. They renovated the Almanar Center, expanded the kitchen's operating days to 7 a week, and provided food safety qualifications for the women. It was about empowerment and sustainability. Critics like Richard Eden of the Daily Mail have framed the project's end as a sign of neglect, a failure even. But they've got it all wrong. The Hubb Community Kitchen was never meant to be a permanent solution. It was a response to an emergency, a temporary refuge. The project wound down not because it was abandoned, but because it had fulfilled its mission. The families have returned to their homes, and they no longer need a temporary cooking hub. The success of this project was not determined by its permanence, but by its impact. The Hubb Community Kitchen wasn't just about cooking meals. It was about healing, growth, and empowerment. It was about creating a ripple effect of positive change, one meal at a time. Richard Eden of the Daily Mail framed the project's cessation as a sign of neglect. A bold claim indeed, but let's delve into the heart of the matter. Eden quoted a spokesperson saying the kitchen has stopped but conveniently left out the crucial context that paints a completely different picture. The Hubb Community Kitchen was not designed to be an everlasting institution. It was a temporary, time-limited response to a crisis. Its purpose was to provide a community in need with a place to cook and heal during a difficult time. It was never meant to run indefinitely, but rather to serve its purpose and then wind down. And this is the part that critics like Eden seem to have a tough time swallowing. The project didn't stop because of neglect or lack of interest. It wound down because its mission was accomplished. The women who found solace and empowerment in the community kitchen were successfully rehoused in permanent homes with their own kitchens. Why would a community need a temporary cooking hub once they have their own homes back? It's like keeping an emergency room open when the patient has fully recovered and is back home. Eden's attempts to spin this as a failure is a gross misrepresentation of the project's success. It's easy to point fingers and criticize when you're looking from the outside in. However, the truth is far more inspiring and uplifting. The Hubb Community Kitchen was a beacon of hope, empowerment, and community spirit. It fulfilled its purpose and positively impacted the lives of many. The women who once relied on the kitchen are now thriving and have even launched their own independent catering ventures. The initiative paved the way for partnerships with groups like the Felix Project, thereby scaling up food redistribution across London. The kitchen's legacy isn't a closed door. It's the empowerment of women who are now thriving as entrepreneurs and community leaders. The truth is, the mission of the Hubb Community Kitchen was accomplished. It was not a failure, as Richard Eden would have you believe, but a resounding success story. A story of resilience, empowerment, and community spirit. A story that deserves to be celebrated, not criticized. The true success of the Hubb Community Kitchen is seen in the empowerment and growth of the women involved. The aftermath of the project is not one of abandonment, but of blossoming, as these local heroes took the reins of their own destinies. Let's delve deeper into these success stories. Many of the women who once relied on the community kitchen have now launched their own independent catering ventures. Their culinary skills, honed and celebrated in the Hubb Kitchen, are now the backbone of their own businesses. This is not a tale of loss. It is a story of transformation and growth. And the ripple effects of their success have not stopped at their doorstep. The initiative has paved the way for partnerships with groups like the Felix Project, scaling up food redistribution across London. The women of the Hubb Kitchen are not just survivors, they are change makers, leading the charge in their communities and beyond. The legacy of the Hubb Community Kitchen is not found in a closed door or a cold stove. It is seen in the thriving businesses run by these women, in the food redistribution efforts they've influenced, and in the strength and resilience they've shown in the face of adversity. The critics might see a project that has shut down, but we see women who have stood up, taken charge, and turned a temporary solution into lasting change. We see a community that has risen from the ashes of a tragedy and is now stronger and more united than ever. This is the real legacy of the Hubb Community Kitchen. It's a legacy of empowerment, of community, and of hope. It's a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit and a beacon of inspiration for other communities around the world. The true measure of success isn't in the permanence of a project, but in the lasting impact it makes on people's lives. And by that measure, the Hubb Community Kitchen isn't just a success, it's a resounding triumph. So there you have it, the real story behind Meghan Sussex's first royal project. The Hubb Community Kitchen was a beacon of hope and resilience, born out of a tragedy and nurtured into a symbol of empowerment. It wasn't just a project, but a lifeline for the women of Grenfell Tower. Contrary to the misleading headlines, the initiative didn't wither away, but accomplished its mission, evolving into a lasting legacy of entrepreneurship and community leadership. The funds raised not only renovated a center, but opened doors of opportunities for these women. It's a testament to the power of community and the transformative potential of compassionate initiatives. This journey, from the ashes of a tragedy to a beacon of empowerment, is the true narrative we should be celebrating. Thank you for joining us today on Royal Booth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Jane Roberts, signing off.